Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Oh, okay. So yeah, I'm gonna be talking more. Well, first, get us something to sip on. Yeah, get something to sip and nibble on, cause you know how I do. You know, I'm one of the 20 to 30 minutes, normally closer to 30 minutes type of person. But okay, it's gonna be another political dating, especially within the mega cult themed kind of episode, because and I will be at least trying to show some receipts. It's like lately it's like sometimes I show you guys the actual screenshots. I'm slowly putting them on Patreon. I'm putting a couple of them on Instagram, but I'm trying to figure out new things to put on Instagram so I can start, yeah, trying while I write the novel, I'm trying to plan out the whole marketing scheme and how each core of it goes. But yeah, it's like if you don't know, handicapable black woman, I was basically dismissed, ignored, ridiculed, put down for decades about my undiagnosed disability. And I had to beg and plead and cry and literally not be able to walk anymore before they paid any attention. Oh, and I had to have major surgery in order for them to finally pay attention. So I talk about things that are connected with disability, politics, dating, and being a person of color, black. Well, being black, like I used to put the two together, but then, I haven't uploaded one or two of the episodes yet, but I've been talking about how when it comes to black women, we are hated on the most, especially by people of color. And I used to, once I got to college, I kept hearing people tell me, "Oh no, we're all people of color. You're people of color too. You're one." But then I was like, but then that like a few years later, I realized, nah, you guys hate on us because a lot of you guys, since you're not black, you will deceive us. And it's like, so yeah, anyway, I have over 300 to 400 episodes where I talk and mix that in. I have more episodes where one is going to be specifically about Middle Eastern men. Middle Eastern men. And oh, don't worry, I talk about all demographics. I'm going to be talking about the Asian demographic or Asian male demographic too, because it's kind of funny how some of them do. Uh-huh. But oh, I talk about the pale males all the time. And I will continue. I will continue because the way they hate on us and put us down and say that we're not good enough or qualified, or yeah, their cult leader wants to try to say that we have low IQs. Whenever it's a black woman that doesn't do as they say, they want to say low IQ. But then one of his main black women that that used to jump when he says jump, because she kind of left out of she's kind of stepping away from the cult now, Candace Owens. But now she's in that legal dispute. She made a little oopsie. I mean, she won't say it, and now she's saying it's going to cost around $5 million. Oops. Because like yeah, when I talk about people, I have the screenshots. When I talk about people, I it's like part of me is like if they ever try to say a thing, okay, get up on that stand and tell me I'm like you try to tell me I'm lying. Try. It's like I spill my tea with the sugar and everything. I don't care. Like I tell my whole truth because I've been through it. I've been challenged. I've been ridiculed, and I just see. It's like I'm so messy. Where sometimes I want to get some of the other episodes out, but I'm collecting different facts and information and everything. And with this episode, it's probably going to be a series because I want to put some of the information and give you the history of the the single or the stay-at-home mom with the kids, cooking and cleaning for the husband, waiting for him to get home, getting all dolled up to make sure when he steps in the house, he sees a nice put together woman. But then it's like, and what were her hobbies? Knitting and ironing and making sure she does everything to make him happy. Kind of sounds like a pet to me. But yeah, that I mean, if that's what you want to do you, boo. If you like it, I love it for you, boo. But for me, no, I need my novels. I need to do my writing. I need to start my businesses. I need, like, to me, like, if you're just gonna try to tell me that I can only cook and clean and take care of my man, that's why I'm never getting married. Because especially the brainwashing at the church that I went to for over 30 years, it's like I I still want kids, but the thing is I don't want the guy. I've given like I've been through, and it's like the thing is I'm still dating because I'm like maybe there is a little hope. I think I have like 6% of hope, but yeah, 94% I'm just like, huh, whatever, because men have done me wrong, or like Mr. Lockett and Mr. No Heart. All they did was use me. And then Mr. Lockakey, every time I wanted to break up with him, threatened to eliminate himself from the earth. But then when I left him and he found his middle school sweetheart, then it's like I'm trying to get the money that is like he kept getting fired from jobs from stealing and everything like that. And so I was trying to help him find a job. So I loaned him money. He knew it was a loan. And he would even tell me, I'll pay you back, I'll pay you back. Once I find a job, I'll pay you back. But I had to break up with him for my sanity and all. Like, yeah, go watch those episodes or whatever. But then I'm trying to get the money. He finds his middle school sweetheart, and then he gets so scared to talk to me because he knows he owes me money, and he knows all of the awful things he did to me. He knows of all of the terrible things he did to me, so he would no longer answer. And so then she decides to call me the N word. She decides to threaten to take me to court if I keep calling, or she would have the police come after me, even though he owes me money. hmm So trust me, when it comes to, oh yeah, he's a pale male. So trust me, when it comes to pale males, I'll talk about them at least like once or twice a week. And if I don't, that means politics and some other crazy things happen. Ooh, but then I have a couple disability episodes I need to cover as well. But to me, it's just crazy how we have these men who they think that a lot of what they don't want women to vote, and they don't want us to work, or they want to look more prestigious than the woman, or they want the kind of relationship where the woman makes only enough for the house but not enough for freedom, because if she wants to break, because, and I think that's kind of a funny thing when it comes to Mr. Lockakey and Mr. No Heart, because with Mr. Lockakey, I think he didn't want to give, like, I don't know, it's like, I know it may, some people are going to disagree highly, but I sometimes I wonder, do men just borrow money from women? Like, they need the money, but then they're not going to pay the woman back because that's going to make sure she stays. Because with Mr. Lockakey, when I told him, like, before he found his middle school sweetheart, he was trying to blackmail me because I told him, you owe me money. I don't want to be back with you. This is after he tried to find me on Facebook, or he found me again on Plenty of Fish. Oh my gosh, Plenty of Fish is Plenty of Catfish, but or Plenty of, never mind. I'm not. Let's just say, hoo hoo. But anyway, it's like I broke up with him, and I knew he, like, all of the threats, because he kept threatening every time I was going to say I can't do this, I don't want to be with you, he would threaten his life. And or when he threatened a couple other things, but that's those were the times when I knew he was addicted back, or he was back on his special candy addiction or whatever. But and if you know, yeah, listen to the episodes. Like I said, I talk about this. You, if you know what special candy is, you know what special candy is. But anyway, but with the money, I think, like, when I broke up with him, I was like, freedom, because all of the terrible things. Like, I listen to the episodes. I keep saying that, but It's just now I'm remembering all the episodes that I've already posted, and I have so many more stories to share, but it's just terrible with how many men would try to trap a woman with money. And when I told him that I just want my money back, I was like, we're over, we're done. I was like, I can't, like, the way you did me wrong, the way, and he told me the only way you will get your money is if you get back with me and you have to sleep with me a certain amount of times. And if it's not to the quality, I will double it. Or if you don't make up your mind within two, I think he gave me 2 weeks, I will double the parameters. But these men want to be alpha men, but then you have to be like, you have to blackmail a woman in order for her to get her money back because she loaned you money to try to find a job, but then instead of going to find a job or using it for gas for the job interviews, you go to your special candy addict addiction or dealer, special candy dealer, and then go to a friend's house and consume that for hours to make it look like, oh, yeah, at the interview, they asked me to test some things out. They asked me to do this, but then I see it in your eyes that I'm like, whatever. It's like, so it's like, I see the glassy look. I see the, yeah, But with Mr. No Heart, it's like, because, yeah, alpha men, they want to act like they're, just amazing, macho, just very masculine, whatever. This no good, stupid loser. Who, all of the things I could say about him. And yeah, the Bible says do not judge, but oh, the white lady, the beginning of the relationship, he said that he will never be a white knight, or, and then, like, he knew a lot of the things that I was going through at home, and just like, I told him that my walking's odd. I don't know why, because the pain was getting worse and worse. So it's like, this is when I started trying to tell the guys, and a lot of guys were telling me, I don't want, I'm not going to deal with the R word. You think I'm going to deal with a cripple or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Or it's like, oh, if you walk like this, you can't take care of my babies. And oh my gosh, if you fall, I'm gonna laugh at you. I'm not gonna help you up. So whatever. So it's like, I don't know, the way that we ended up dating, and especially like, he got mad that he couldn't get me jealous, because at the beginning, like, we were just like hanging out, talking, whatever. We weren't like official, whatever. But then he kept trying to make me jealous. And he's like, yeah, I went on a date. And I'm like, oh, yeah, cool. And he would just look at me and say, it's like, I'm going to get into, like, see, this is going to be a series. But he would just look at me. He was like, yeah, but don't you understand? And he was like, yeah, we almost got intimate. Oh, yeah, congratulations. And I would continue doing it. And one time he did this in front of his oldest daughter. And I remember when he walked out of the kitchen, she kind of looked at me like, why is my dad saying this stuff? And I just remember looking at, I was like, I have no idea. And in the back of my head, I'm like, is he that desperate to get me jealous that he is going to tell me that he went out with this Asian woman and they almost had intercourse in his car? It's like in front of his daughter, in front of, like, are you that desperate? I, and I mean, that was one of the moments in the back of my head. I'm just like, oh, like, are these the only men that will deal with my disability? Are these the only men that are willing to be patient with my disability? Jerks like this. I'm like, we're not official, but at least he's willing to hang out with me and talk with me, and he doesn't think anime is immature. It's like, yeah, if you knew, like, it's like, that's why it's such a I have such a hard time trying to find someone that's compatible, because someone that is money, like, wise, like, you don't have to be rich. Like, I'm getting my life back together after my diagnosis. But when I say that I invest money, do you know how many men have said I'm stupid or dumb for investing money? Or they say that's for, or especially, okay, black men who tell me that's for white people or white men. Oh, and you do not know how frustrating it is when black men tell me this, and or black men tell me that in order for me to date them, I have to take all of my invested money out, and we use it on a trip or cruise or something absolutely stupid or something that will just depreciate it all away. Not to start a business or anything like that. They want it for a cruise or for clothes, or they tell me to buy higher quality wigs or whatever. And it's just like, so you just want me to waste the money, so the money's not no longer working for me. It's just going into the pockets of somebody else, somebody who has a business and somebody who will probably turn around and invest that money that I'm handing them. Let's think about that. But they don't want to think about that. They just want me to use up all my money and then date me to the point where if we end up together, I won't have any backup money to leave them. And see, this is where I'm getting to my main topic of the day. Because with those two guys, with those two jerks, financial abuse is real. Because even with Mr. No Heart, he's like I said, he said he would never be my white knight or whatever. And I've never even heard of that term before. And he told me that he would never allow me to move in or live with him or whatever. But then, and when I started investing, and oh, when he knew I wanted to start a business. I told the story to watch, so watch it. But he begged me to start one. I had his back, and I paid for like 98% of everything. I paid for, and we were doing so well. For a startup, we were doing so well. But then, and I was giving him a portion of it because he promised that he was going to pay part, like the credit, because yeah, his credit score was so low, terrible credit. And because yeah, he had to borrow money from me. hmm It's like, you're never going to be my white knight, but then every single week you're basically asking me to be your white knight, one way or another. But then when my mother dies, when I have to have major surgery, you refuse to go and see me, check on me, call me, like I had to beg him. I had to beg him for puppy memes to be like that's all he did. He didn't call me, text me, check on me, visit me, either at the hospital or at home. I was like, you know what? I haven't seen him since like, okay, the only money he dropped off is when like, yeah, I tell the story about when his truck broke down and he had to get another car. And then he kept telling me to lie to my parents on why I need to, like do whatever. But then he wanted me to drive to his house so that he could wake up and drive my car to his job. But then he needed another car, got the other car. And yeah, it's like, if you remember, you remember, but he owed me money. But then he was going to turn around and buy me a Christmas gift with the money he owed me. But he only wanted to do that so he can go back to his parents, his mother, and tell her, "Oh, guess what I got her? Guess because he every Christmas, almost every other Christmas was a stuffed animal. That's all he thought of me. That's all he got me. Listen, like I already talked about that in the other episode too. But a lot of these men, they will use financial abuse on you, and they will twist and turn everything. And if you have money, if you have invested money, if you're doing better than them, they will hate on you. They will like just dehumanize you, put you down, and or using everything and take advantage of you. Oh, remember that I forgot which reality show. It was some kind of show where they talked to different couples, and there was this one black guy with the white woman or whatever, and she was the one with the money, and she was divorced from her husband, but they financially well, partially, I guess, because like I don't know what she does. It might be because of her too. Because so I'm like, whichever way, do you, boo? Congratulations, you got the bag. But he thought he had a portion of her bag, and she was like, no, this bag is for the children. But he thought, yeah, see, he thought the same thing that Mr. No Heart thought of me. I don't have kids, but that's my money. I don't have kids, but, and because part of the proof is when I was investing my money and I was, it still breaks my heart to this day. I was like, And this is why, when it comes to healthcare for all, you don't know how many people that this would affect. Because even, and this is why my heart goes out for those who are homeless and those who are bankrupt, but it either was bankruptcy or dying. And it's so sad that you have to choose that, because I had to use like every penny I had in order to be diagnosed. And then I find out I was diagnosed with this from birth. So all of my life I should have been able to like have certain treatments and things instead that, so that my body didn't get like this fast, or at least the pain or even the mental abuse that I had to go through with doctors, family, so called fake, stupid, no good, ignorant friends or whatever. Yes, like most of the people on my Facebook, they're not. I just keep them around because keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer. But yeah, because 90% of them say I'm a liar. Oh, if they saw me today. Yeah, because I don't post pictures because most of them are ignorant, awful, terrible human beings. But yeah, I was like I said, I spill all my tea. I don't even care. And if any of them try to, like, if they listen to this, yeah, I'm probably talking about you. Yeah, I'm probably talking about you. So, but with Mr. No Heart, before the diagnosis, like I was I was so close to being able to buy a house. I I am so glad that it's like I did half and half. I was investing my money and paying off student loans and saving for a house. So it was such a blessing that I was doing the things that I was doing accordingly. And but then he would pick on me and tease me. But then at the same time, if you get a house, I'll buy you a puppy. Oh, so that's when I'm gonna be worth more than a stuffed animal, when I get a house. And then he would try to hint to me, oh well, we're gonna need. Oh no 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 no. See, no, 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 and no. Don't ever let a man say what we, especially if you're not married or in a official relationship. Don't let, and ladies, don't follow a man. Like if a man is going to work a job out of state, or do the long distance for a little bit. See if it's, because you might be scared that you're gonna lose him. If he loves you, he'll make it work. If he cares about you, he'll make it work. Because I keep finding out about women who follow men for their dreams, for what they're going to do. But then the man drops them, cheats on them, or uses them and takes advantage of them to the point where the woman is left with nothing, heartbroken and nothing. So, yeah, it's like, do a lot of either analyze and have the backup plan, or is like make sure you have your bag, your career, your dreams set up, a plan for you in that state as well. Because you don't, because yeah, if you're following him, he has the power. If you don't have a plan, he has all the power. So that's just, because I've had quite a few exes. That's one reason we broke up, because I knew them, and it's a blood. Because, and it's funny, some of them are on their second or third marriages right now too. So let's just say I knew better. I knew better. But with Mister No Heart and everything, oh yeah, he wanted to live in that house that I was gonna buy. He was trying to tell me, like, because he would try to tell me what to invest in. Because first he told me that I better not invest, and he thought it was funny and that it was a joke and blah, blah, blah. But then over time, because sometimes I would show him, I was like, oh, look at this and look at that. I've invested in A, B, and C or whatever. And so then he would try to tell me what to invest in. I'm like, no, no, why are you telling me? And he was like, oh, well, I think we should look at what we're. I'm like, no, 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 no. No, where's your name? Oh, he got mad. He got mad because I was like, oh, no, no. You need to, first, you need to pay me back my money. Second, you need to fix your credit score. And you need to start investing your own money. But yeah, so yeah, I'm going to need a lot of series because I hardly got on the main topic that I wanted to go through, because I'm going to be mixing in my real life because I have other examples as well, especially after I broke up with Mr. No Heart. Because a lot of men would get mad, and once I posted on Meet Me and Meet Me and Scout, you must have some investments. I don't care if it's $5. You can invest $5 a week on Acorn. I don't. It's like, uh, to me, that shows that you at least have some kind of financial responsibility. Because I keep catching men on dating profiles have all these pictures of cars. Cars depreciate. I need someone who has some kind of financial education and know how to manage their money. And it's like they don't need a fancy house. I understand, like, especially within this economy, especially these days, especially with the rent prices and all this other stuff. I understand. So it's like I don't need a fancy car because that depreciates, but housing appreciates. And you can fix that up. But it's like, but like I said, I'm not expecting that, but it's just like, just having that, I require you to have investments. It's like, and that's because so many men have used me or want to take my wallet for advantage, or they tell me that I have to take all my money out to please them, or or they want to pay for a couple dinners, but then those couple dinners, now they said I have to sleep with them, or I owe them like different services, or whatever, and it's just pathetic, and it's crazy. And then, oh yeah, don't forget with Mr. Lockakey, the only reason he wanted to meet my parents is so he could steal stuff from their house. Whenever he was under the influence, he would brag about this, even telling his friends. I remember while his grandmother was cooking in the kitchen, and his grandfather was watching, like we were watching a mystery show together, and he would be talking about, yeah, yeah, it's like her family, they're good. I'm gonna go to their house, and like he told me the whole plan several times, and it's just like, so this is like, yeah, when it comes to that special candy helped me know everything he was going to do or he was trying to do. So when each time he asked me to meet my parents, I'm like, no, 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 no. Remember, you have to be clean for at least 6 months. Guess how many times that happened during the 5-year relationship? Zero, zero, zero. And there was another requirement. There were a couple requirements, but that was the main one. But he never passed that one. He couldn't even pass that one. So that was easy right there. But then, oh yeah, and then he turned around and told his wife or his middle school sweetheart that he never met my parents. But he forgot to tell them he never met my parents because he could never stay clean. He could never meet my parents because he kept getting caught stealing from his jobs. He could never meet my parents because he kept threatening to punch holes in the walls of the house if I didn't jump when he said jump. He kept asking to meet my parents, but he kept showing how he would never be good enough to be in their presence. And the only reason I tolerated him is because I was about to leave him for good, like, because he stole from my purse, and I wanted nothing to do with him. But then I didn't know he stole from my purse. Watch the taco party episode. But yeah, I'm going to be talking about the financial abuse that a lot of men try to put women through. Because yeah, I've been through that so much, and I think that's one reason why I'm determined to save my money and pay off everything. And I'm trying to be very careful, even starting my business. I'm like, okay, this is how it's gonna work out. This is how it's gonna, like, I'm gonna split everything up because of how these men have tried to fool me. They tried, and it's funny because it doesn't work. But then they find out that I'm doing better than I was the previous year. Then they get mad. I might have to start over, but I'm doing better. Thank you so much for listening to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human, and you're human too.